Sorry, forgot I muted my mic before I started that. Welcome on in. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. But yeah, there we go. All right, so yeah, we've got they got the national anthem going. We are here and ready for a action-packed night of racing. We got two dual races. Let's see, pick Corey Heim, Corey LaJoie, Anthony Alfredo. Okay, so Heim and Allgaier through time trials last night. Corey Heim and Justin Allgaier already locked themselves into the main event. Now, if Corey Heim were to race his way in by outdueling Corey LaJoie or whoever else in this duel of the open cars, then Corey LaJoie would be the first alternate to make it in to the 500 just based on the time, because it would default back to the time trials. I did a video that I think it was last year explaining how the whole qualifying system works. It's a little bit confusing, but yeah. So ultimately, if you want to see Corey LaJoie in the 500, root for any Corey. It doesn't matter which Corey. Corey Heim, Corey LaJoie. I think those are the only two Corys, but yeah. If you want to see Chandler Smith or Casey Mears, they have to win. They don't have to win the duel, but they have to be the highest finisher of the two in their duel here. They can't finish behind Heim or LaJoie. So that is going to be, when it comes to the open cars and trying to make the race, that is the race. For all the full-time drivers, so your Ryan Preeces, your Alex Bowmans, your Joey Logano's of the world, for those of you guys who are new to this, the dual races will be setting the grid. So row 2 all the way on back, the starting positions will be solidified based on how they do this tonight. Casey Mears is underpowered. Yeah. I am well aware that Casey Mears and that Garage 66 car is not a top contending car on pace by any stretch of the imagination. All right, so there we go. All right, but yeah, again, I think Corey LaJoie is probably the most likely one to advance out of here. Don't see him in the race unless others wreck. Well, it is Daytona, and we've crazier stuff has happened. In Duel 2, we have Allgaier. Let me see who else we have in Duel 2 for open drivers here. Let's see. Duel race number 2. So we got Justin Allgaier, Anthony Alfredo, BJ McLeod, and JJ Yaley. Yeah, Anthony Alfredo, probably barring a crash, will be the next one up. Now, the weird thing will come if, let's say, Chandler Smith races his way in Duel 1, and then Allgaier wins Duel, or races his way in through Duel 2. Again, Corey LaJoie would then, again, be the fallback alternate in that situation. So, yeah, there's a lot of situations for Corey LaJoie to find his way into the Daytona 500 because he had such a strong performance in last night's time trials. But again, Duel 1 will set the inside line, Duel 2 setting the outside line. Meanwhile, Kyle Busch and Chase Briscoe, they have nothing to race for tonight when it comes to starting position. Kyle Busch won the pole last night, so he will be starting inside front row if he so chooses, as long as he can keep that car clean tonight. Same thing with Briscoe. He will start on the outside of the front row if he ends up getting there, as long as he can get through tonight without needing to go to a backup car. So 60 laps, 150 miles each. These should be some nice, fun sprints to the checkers here. Happy for Busch on pole. Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I was a little bit surprised that it's the first time he's ever gotten the pole for the Daytona 500. I mean, obviously, it was for like a decade or so. It was very much a Hendrick thing that you had to be in a Hendrick car or bust when it came to qualifying. So obviously, that made it a little tough for him. But yeah, there we go. Only 5 drivers have ever won back-to-back Daytona 500s, and that was something I actually was kind of caught off guard by yesterday when we were talking And so when we were talking qualifying, I saw them bring up the stat on the screen. I thought somebody had gotten. I thought maybe Richard Petty had gotten a 3 in a row at some point, considering the fact that he won there. But yeah, the Hendrick domination was insane. Yeah, and I mean, even like when it wasn't Hendrick, like you had like the Ricky, for example, in 2020, you had the Ricky Stenhouse pole. Oh wait, Ricky Stenhouse uses a Hendrick motor. And JTG Doherty at the time were using Hendrick motors in their car. So it really was just a Hendrick thing. I mean, even going back even further, it's like, okay, say when Danica Patrick got it years ago, that was a Hendrick motor in her Chevy. Like, then I guess Austin Dillon would have been the one exception, and I don't know if I think RCR had their own engine company at that point. The two of them unified back together to have all the Chevy teams pulling in one direction rather than having the ECR camp and the Hendrick camp, because they used to be pulling in two different kind of directions. So you had the ECR camp that was like your Richard Childress, your Richard Petty was under them, and a bunch of the other small teams that kind of just all kind of flocked to underneath the RCR umbrella. Hendrick's umbrella was never kind of spread quite as wide outside of the fact that I believe they supplied Stewart-Haas. RCR was self-dependent back then, yeah. Yeah, I was pretty sure that they were self-dependent, and because they had ECR engines at the time, as opposed to Hendrick having their own engine program. So, but I know Stewart-Haas got their engines from Hendrick along with JTG, up until obviously when Stewart-Haas left for Ford, and now they're back at Chevy. Even though the Stewart half of that hasn't is kind of left, but yep. Yeah, we got ourselves a pretty good race getting ready to go here. Again, Kyle Busch on the pole position, Ryan Preece on the outside of the front row. After what was an insane, clash at Bowman Gray Stadium, Ryan Preece got the win at the clash. Now he's he would have qualified third if last night was set in the full grid. Now he's got a race for every bit of his starting position. Yeah, I know. It's Haas factory team now, yeah. I'm going to miss SHR. I'm going to miss it because that was, they really were kind of that fourth, they were kind of that fourth kind of powerhouse team. I think Trackhouse is in an okay spot to maybe replace the void left by SHR. Because really, Trackhouse kind of feels like that next team up to kind of fill that gap. Although I would love to see a legacy team like a Roush potentially be able to return to that glory. Obviously, and given the Roush gear, shock and surprise, I would love to see Roush be the team to step up and kind of fill that fourth best team, because there is really not much challenging the Hendrick, the Gibbs, the Penske. Those three teams, I think, are far and away the best teams. Now, obviously, you can break down certain drivers on that team, Cindric, Gibbs, as to being a little bit behind the rest of them. But for the most part, those are your three powerhouse teams. And if you include Stewart-Haas in that group, they really, that 4 team was, really love the Biffle Fonts. Yeah, the Biffle Fonts have been really cool. But yeah, I figured I'd wear the number 99 gear. Was a big Carl Edwards fan, and I would love to see Corey LaJoie get into the 500 tonight. But as I say, secretly, if Kyle Busch, because I'm a big Kyle Busch fan, you guys probably know that if you guys have been around the channel a bit. I'm a big Kyle Busch fan. If Kyle Busch can't win this one this year, honestly, I want to see AJ Allmendinger drive the number 16 Biffle car into victory lane. That would be storybook right there, with Greg Biffle going to the with the Greg Biffle number 16 car with the AJ Allmendinger. I think that would be a really beautiful storybook way for that to go. Obviously, the rest of the Roush cars are going to be strong, though. Chris Buescher, Ryan Preece, Corey LaJoie, I just realized we have all 4 Roush cars in one duel? What? Busch's car looks good. Yeah. I saw a friend of mine who has historically hated the zone schemes. I've never had a problem with the zone schemes, but I will say I do like this one too quite a bit. But yeah, all 4 Roush Fenway cars managed to get into the same duel. What are the chances of that? I mean, that's going to give them that's going to give them a ton of advantage in the draft when it comes to trying to give Corey LaJoie the momentum to try and win his way into the duel. I mean, I say strength is in numbers, and in a shrunk field, you kind of have to look for what allies you can get. But I say, naturally getting all 4 of your teammates in the same duel, I mean, that does not happen very often. So there we go. Let's pull up the leaderboard on another screen so I can actually scroll up and down so I'm not messing with your guys' view. So for the 36 of for the 36 of Chandler Smith, he is starting way far back. He and Casey Mears are both starting outside the top 20. Chandler Smith does have Noah Gragson in this duel as a teammate, but that is his only teammate. Most of the rest of the Fords in this duel are all there. There we go. Zone car has always been in your top 5 schemes for the Daytona 500. Yeah. I mean, I always felt like I liked the zone scheme quite a bit. And honestly, it kind of gave me kind of a mix of Buzz Lightyear / the little green aliens from Pizza Planet. It was kind of what I always felt like, is like the dark blue gave me a ton of space vibes. And it's like, yeah, that plus the green, I feel like really kind of, that was really kind of where I saw what I saw from those colors and what I thought of immediately when I saw it. But yeah, I like the look of this. I like the look of the space theme, even if it was unintentional. So there we go. All right, you have the 1, the 8, the 16, the 23, and the 97 are your favorite schemes this year. All right, well, I would certainly say the honestly, I think the kind of flames on the zone car. I mean, I don't hate them, but I think the paint scheme could carry. I think the paint scheme on its own carries plenty without the kind of orange flames distracting from it. Yeah, I think it works just fine as is, but yeah. I don't remember the 97 car off the top of my head as well, because it was a busy day yesterday, so. Let's see. Bubba Wallace is in the purple car. Is in his purple, I believe, Xfinity Mobile car this week. So that one's a pretty solid paint scheme. AJ Allmendinger obviously got this classic Biffle 16 font, and here we go, the starting lineup, first one of the year. Kyle Busch and Ryan Preece, row 1. We've talked about those 2 already. Alex Bowman and Corey Heim. Bowman, a really good qualifier in his time here, and Corey Heim, not a rookie to the race. He was in this race last year, but as a part-time driver, it is rare to see a part-timer get up into that top 10 shootout and raced for the pole last night. I like that it's something different. Are you referring to the flames on the 8 car again? I don't think it takes away from it too much. Hey, Dave, how's it going? Yeah, there we go. Marietta, Georgia for the 67 of Corey Heim. Can't wait to see how many TikTok kids are going and making the 67 jokes there, which I will do everything in my power to not feed into it. But there we go. Logano and Busher on row 3. LaJoie and Austin Dillon coming from row 4. So again, Corey LaJoie in a good spot to try and fight for this spot here. Brad Keselowski on a broken foot, race coming from road number 5. He's been walking around the garage area with a cane. He insists that he's all good to go. He was medically cleared by by both his doctor and the race team to take part in the Daytona 500, but you always got to be a little bit worried when you suffer an injury like that you don't go and re-injure in a crash here. So just something to be worried about there if you're Brad Keselowski. Maybe take it easy a little bit. He's got John Henry Nemechek, it looks like, to his inside. And yeah, we are all set up and ready for this one. Alright, so there we go. AJ Allmendinger coming from row 9 along with the Ross Chastain. Suarez is going to be sharing a row with his former teammate SVG, Shane Van Gisbergen. All the way back there, and again, once you start getting back outside that top 10 rows, you're really kind of in a tough spot. Noah Gragson, the 12th row is all his, and it is going to be a rough spot to try and come from. If LaJoy doesn't make the race in an RFK car, he made it last year with an RWR car, I'm going to crash out. Well, coincidentally, I think that is probably one of the. Oh, and there's Corey LaJoy upside down, showing a replay from the August Michigan race 2 years ago now. But yeah, I don't. Barring Corey LaJoy wrecking, and honestly, I think probably it would take Corey Heim and Corey LaJoy both ending up out the race. I think it would take for one of the other two to get in there. But again, we'll have to wait and see because sometimes some of these drivers surprise us in race trim. And Front Row Motorsports is not a Front Row Motorsports is not a team that I would look past too easily. So. All right, there we go. 3 drivers for RFK have flipped in the next gen era. Yep, well, and Ryan Preece probably has about 4 flips on his own. But yeah, Buescher flipped in the Coke 600. I believe the first Coke 600 in the next gen car. Then you've got Corey LaJoy having gone up and over. And Ryan Preece. Brad Keselowski hasn't gone up and over in the next gen car. All right, here we go. Doubled up, ready to go racing here. Let's see. Come on. Let's see that pace car pull off the track. All right, here we go. Again, field will be left in the hands of Kyle Busch, who is elected to start in the outside line here. Probably so he can just kind of leave a major gap on the bottom line to go ahead and have everybody kind of cycle past. But here we go. Green flag is out. Duel number 1 underway here in Daytona International Speedway, Daytona, Florida. And now the race is on here. The question is, who's going to be that first driver to make an aggressive move to try and gain some track position? Yeah, with 60 laps, you likely will have to pit somewhere probably around the middle. So around lap 30 or so, you'd expect to see most of these drivers come to the pits, assuming it stays green flag all the way to that, which is a stretch at Daytona. But yeah, Ryan Preece with a good run up the inside, getting a little bit of a nose out ahead there. Again, Kyle Busch not pushing the issue, not trying to go ahead and try and dominate the thing. Maybe he is. All right. So yeah, again, we're one lap down here. Ryan Preece, Alex Bowman trying to get knows his way up into that top conversation. Again, the real question is going to be: here comes Casey Mears jumping up to the third row. I was going to say the real question is going to be, LaJoy flipped twice in the 7. Yep, there we go. Hey, Kenneth, how's it going? You're doing good tonight. Let's go racing. That it is. Let's go racing indeed. But yeah, again, the thing to keep an eye on is going to be who that first car to get aggressive and try and form a third lane is going to be. Because it is inevitably going to happen at some point. There's going to be a third lane that establishes, and the question is, who's going to be the aggressive one trying to make it happen, and will they be successful at it? Yeah, again, so far though, all's good in lockstep here. Kyle Busch hanging out at the front of the field, which is a little concerning. Again, I don't want to see Kyle Busch end up wrecking that race car and losing access starting position. All right, Ryan Preece gets clear of the 8 of Kyle Busch, and he goes up to try and block him. So must have thought there was at least enough momentum in the car to try and do that. All right, so there we go. Ryan Preece up to the top line to go ahead and try and block Kyle Busch. Meanwhile, here comes Corey Heim on the bottom. All right, and here we go. Nice push from the 3 car to the back bumper of the 67 here, and the 67 of Corey Heim leading the field at Daytona International Speedway. There we go. All 5 Biffle fonts in Duel 1. Yep. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Kyle Busch hasn't tried to find his way out of the pack here. But yeah, there goes Corey Heim up to the top as well to go ahead and block the 60 of Priest. Which is weird because Alright, so again, here we go. We got John Hunter Nemechek now to the front of the field. Every driver who takes the front here just keeps going up the track to block that top line and then loses out a ton of spots. I mean, come on. And say Austin Dillon, Corey Heim, Ryan Preece, all of them got clear of the outside line, then tried to block the top line, and now you've got Austin Dillon in 3rd, Heim in 5th, Preece in 7th. All right, so we do have a 3-car train going here, and here we go. The 4 Roush Fenway cars have gotten lined up on that outside line. As I said, strength in numbers is a real thing at the restrictor plate tracks, and here comes Corey LaJoy amidst his 4 brothers here as they are going to try and just steamroll their way through this one. So here we go. A lot of momentum coming. Here we go. Austin Dillon up to the top to try and wrangle that lead. Meanwhile, Keselowski versus Kyle Busch side by side here for that position battle. All right, so here we go. Again, we got all 4 Roush Fenway cars again lined up right on that outside line. That is the kind of coordination that you knew was going to come, and that is going to absolutely control the front of the field if Austin Dillon's not careful and lets those Roush cars get to the front of the line. The 4 of them will not let each other go. here we go again. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. All right. Austin Dillon with a good push here from the Roush train. Problem is that inside line with the two Penske cars is also a very tough line to get clear of. It's like John Nemechek on his own is not exactly a tough car to pass, but one of those things where say it's easy to get to somebody, it's hard to get by them. All right, so there we go. Spotting for the 67 car must be pretty easy. Yeah, with how bright it is. Yeah, as long as he and Bubba Walls don't run the Robin Hood cars on the same day. Because, if you run the same exact paint scheme, it can be really tough to try and spot the differences, but here we go. Austin Dillon starting to get clear of the inside line. All right, so again, right now we're nearly 10 laps into this race. It's been it's been a fairly quiet one outside of the Roush cars getting together and everybody kind of just cycling further back here, but it's all going pretty good so far. Yeah, again, the Ford's looking good. The Haas cars in particular are working really well together. Alright, man, again, we are just chilling out here. We're at a commercial break. You're not missing anything. I think they ran Robin Hood for both of them in the Bristol Night Race last year. Again, yeah, that's the kind of thing you really need to avoid if you're the team, because you have the choices to win. Certain sponsors are on the car for the most part, so don't put yourself in that situation. Is the simplest advice I can give. Alright, there we go. There we go. Now I have a way to see chat here. Alright, we're all good. Alright, so yeah, we are at, as a 10 laps now complete here. A very fast-paced race so far. Obviously, no caution flags at the moment. Alright, here we go. Let's see what we got. Alright. Yeah, right now, Ryan Preece has actually gotten himself out to the front, so I'm not sure what happened to Austin Dillon, because we've been at a full-screen commercial break, but yeah, the Roush cars did get clear, yep. Okay, they inverted the colors for Heim's car, okay. I just remember a couple years ago, the Clint Boyer and Kevin Harvick ran the Busch Light car, both at Pocono, and they had to do the Dayglow orange roof numbers for Boyer, so that the spotter could tell the difference between the two with the 4 and the 14. So yeah, that's pretty funny. All right, so again, everybody's this 4-car team of Fords at the front of the field as they finally put the camera back on them. And I say, are we gonna see an early batch of pit road? If I'm the rest of the field, I kind of want to try and, as soon as I feel like the pit window's open, to make it. All right, so yeah, again, right now, Austin Dillon went up the track to try and block and just, again, lost that lead to Preece, Buscher, LaJoie, and Keselowski. Again, that 4-car train is insane. They're going to do SHR 2018 Dega. Yeah, well, I don't know if they're quite that much faster than everybody else, because that was the problem with that race, was that literally the 4 Haas cars qualified 1, 2, 3, 4, so they were right together on the initial start. Alright, so here we go again. We're just waiting to see what's going to happen here, but if I'm any of these cars not from the Roush camp, I'd probably be thinking about trying to make that pit stop earlier and earlier, trying to make the but yeah, again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Again, Corey LaJoy way out in front of the other 2 open cars, although Chandler Smith and Casey Mears have both made moves towards the front of the field here. Corey Heim has kind of drifted to the back, and I would not be shocked to see Kyle Busch also trying to find his way further backwards, because, yeah, right now the way we're... Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Casey Mears looking like, Mears and Chandler Smith are actually kind of locked up bumper to bumper here. They've got the 16 of AJ Allmendinger out in front of them, but I don't know what they're going to be able to do on the bottom side at the moment. Alright, so again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Yeah, just fuel saving the whole time. They need to do something about the next gen car on super speedways. Yeah, I mean, that's the hard thing. Is like, okay, how do you stop fuel saving? Because especially when you have 4 teammates all right together, it's a lot easier to just say, "Oh yeah, guys, let's take it easy on each other and fuel save." Especially when, again, when your duels are 60 laps long exactly, it's like, okay, letting everybody fantasize about what they're seeing. So. Yeah, man, I am. All right, come on. Let's see this outside line try and build something here. Here we go. Byron Busch. Yeah, Busch has no real reason to be trying overly hard to make his way back up there, but. Alright, there we go. Don't mind them saving fuel in the duels. Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing with the duels is that because they're just long enough for that pit stop, as long as as long as everybody has to make that pit stop, we're all good. Alright, man. Let's see, when they become gridlock in the main race, it becomes stale. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the hard part, because again, with all these races being, with a lot of the plate races over the last 5 years that being crash fests, I mean, it makes sense that you would want to wait and not crash out until you're near the end of the race. Alright, again, right now, John Hunter Nemechek, the first car on that inside line that isn't a Roush car. Looks like we're going to a quick commercial. Looks like they're going to be sending us to a quick commercial break. If it's a full screen one, I'm going to go grab. Okay, yeah, it's a full screen commercial break. I'm going to go grab something. I will be right back, guys. But yeah, again, we got the 4 Roush Fenway cars out in front of the field, just controlling the front. All right, we are back here, and we are. I believe it was in 2021 when they ran 20 plus laps in the end, going all single file. I think you're thinking of. I think it was 2021, and that was the year that they ran. However long they ran the entirety of the. Not the duels, but the Clash was run entirely single file until Jimmy Johnson wrecked. Jimmy Johnson went and wrecked what's his name, uh, Paul Menard for the lead of the race, and that was the one and only attempted lead change the entire time in the Clash that year. I don't remember the duels being any more exciting, but yeah, the Clash was absolutely that was one of the worst clashes I think I've seen in terms of overall entertainment value. But the four Fords at the front of the field starting to separate themselves from everybody else behind. We got Buescher, Nemechek, 5th and 6th here. are you talking about in the Daytona 500? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, that Clash was 19. Okay, yeah. I got my years a little bit mixed up there. 2021 though, that one went. I believe that one definitely was a late race restart. Yeah, because I remember Mike McDowell winning that one on the double crash with the Penske cars. I believe that one was a late race restart at least. But yeah. Yeah, I mean the fuel saving at Daytona has been a thing here. But it's been exacerbated by the fact that this new car does drive so well. And again, right now, Ryan Preece and team are all just out here dominating the front of the field. Again, I think you're going to see a group of cars. I'm kind of surprised if you didn't see an early group of cars try and come at right around lap 20 or so. But I would expect to see a group of cars coming when we hit halfway in about 5 laps. So yeah, I would expect in about 5 laps or so that we will see at least a chunk of cars coming to pit road. And here we go. Here comes Ryan Blaney with a run. Ryan Blaney with a big run on the outside. He's got his teammate Joey Logano behind him. The two lone Penske cars trying to give a good push. And it's just not going to be enough to really make a dent in that Roush empire at the front of the field. Again, those Roush cars hanging tough right now. Keselowski, that last guy in line, That's the one they're trying to pick off because, again, you can't pick them all off at once. You got to take them one by one here. If you're Keselowski, you really want to try and make that block on Blaney, but you got to know that the guys in front of you are going to go too. All right, so here we go. Again, we're getting closer and closer to this halfway point, and again, we're expecting that there will be a green flag cycle of stops. The question is, at what lap do you come in? If you're any of these cars that aren't the front four, I think honestly, strength in numbers, try and get everybody to come in at halfway and try and force the other Fords to join on to your strategy. And I say of the five fastest laps, only one of them was not put up by one of those four Fords, and it was Casey Mears in the 66 cars, the other driver to have a fast lap run there. So there we go. Surprised that there were no short pitters. Yeah, I was surprised when we hit lap 20 we didn't have a couple of takers. My usual expectation is I usually expect that we'll see kind of a few starting to trickle at lap 20, and then at lap 30 to split it directly in half. You'll see what I think will be a majority of the people. And then at the very end, you'll see those few people who just try to stay out and hope for a caution or for a rain, which rarely happens. So, all right, but yeah, again, right now everybody's say Logano and Blaney still trying to make something happen on that outside line, and we're gonna get cut away from immediately. Great. But yeah, I'm really curious to see what the strategy ends up doing here. But yeah, there we go. Busch playing a dangerous game. Yeah, trust me. And I say he's already locked in. He does not need to be in the middle of this pack. If I was him down the back straightaway, I would just get right out of there. And I say you can get 10 from the back, but also this is not a situation where you need to win. Man. And I say Chandler Smith getting up in the mix here though for that top 5. That's gonna be an interesting conversation if Chandler Smith can get in the mix, and if the Roush cars don't stay hooked up the entire time, it'll be an interesting one to see how it ends up going. All right, so yeah, we're just chilling out here though. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. But yeah, no cautions up to now. We've had 5 different lead changes, so as I say, there's been a lot of moving and shaking, but as of right now, 31 laps complete here. Ryan Preece has led 25 of those laps. All right, man. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. There we go. Smith, I would have gotten in front of the Penske cars. Yeah, I'm just not. I'm not sure. Again, I'd have to see the replay to know exactly, but I'm not sure that he had an opportunity to get in front of the Penske cars because I think the Penske cars just stayed ahead of him the entire time. So jumping up in front of those Penske cars might not have been an option. Now it's almost essential. So again, right now we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. But yeah, this Yeah, we made it to halfway and beyond at this point, and no action here from the from the pit lane. I mean, a couple of guys maybe coming to pit road, but all right. So again, right now we're just working our way through this one here. Again, Priest, Buscher, LaJoy, and Keselowski dominating the front of the field here. It's clear, or at least behind them. Yeah, as they behind them, they probably that's fine. It's just a matter of all right, so there we go. All right, so again, Kyle Busch hanging on just by a thread to be that top non-Roush car here. All right, here we go. Blaney getting up to the 5th spot here. All right, so again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. 26 laps to go. Again, we got to see a pit stop at some point, right? Like, I don't know how far they can go on fuel, but it can't be far, right? All right, so here we go. Again, some good pushes here from Joey Logano to the back bumper of the 12. I just don't know if it's going to end up doing much here. Man, again, we're just chilling out here. Here we go. Kyle Busch up in front of the Penske duo. And there we go. Jumps in front of a. All right, here we go. Again, Chandler Smith would be smart to try and get up in that Penske line. Unfortunately, I think you just need to be. Alright, man, again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Bush goes up. Why is he racing? I mean, granted, leading your line isn't as dangerous as being in the middle of a pack, but regardless, yeah, Kyle Busch should just be dropping to the back of the field and just kind of pacing around at the back. I do believe there are some points on the line, but again, I don't think the couple of points from. All right, so here we go again. We're just working our way through this one. Under 25 to go. Kyle Busch on the outside line ahead of the two Penske cars, making their progress. Joey Logano still kind of in lockstep here with car number 36, who they can't seem to get a hold of here. All right, man. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. I hear around 35 or 40 laps in. Yeah, I mean, I could see it. It's just I would have expected that somebody, especially with the fact that the RFK cars might be preparing to pit. Okay, yep, that'd be big. And yeah, it does look like we see some cars backing up here. Here we go. Logano to the inside. Here comes Kyle Busch down the inside. Blaney gets stuck in the middle, though. All right, man. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, we got 2 laps to the pit. Yeah. When it comes to the when it comes to Roush cars specifically, they can probably wait a few extra laps to try and fake out the rest of the people. But yeah, at this point though, it seems like pretty much everybody's onto them. Yeah, they don't have a good cut. All right, 21 laps to go. 21 to go here. We're working our way through this one in a pretty good pace, though. Like, that's the one good thing about how quick this race is going, is that there is no question. The pace is really fun. All right, here we go. Again, the cars in the front of the field are making this really tough. And door to door. Oh, come on, Kyle Busch. Door to door with Joey Logano. This is really risky, dude. Come on, Kyle. Dude, get clear of him. Pull ahead. Pull over. There we go. All right, again, 20 laps to go. 20 more times around. And we will know who is going to be in what positions from duel number 1. Again, it would be, right now, it'd be Priest, Buscher. LaJoy would be in with a 3rd place finish in the standings. All right, there we go. Again, the Penske car is going up to the top line, just trying to search for anything at this point, it seems. There we go. Yeah, I don't want to be around the 22 either. I mean, I said the same thing about Priest. I don't like the notion of being near Priest on the start. I don't like the notion of having Joe Logano in and around you, because you know he'll wreck a teammate to try and win a race. Especially a big race like this that horses can't afford to miss. Alright, again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. But yeah, again, this front of the field has been dragged out here. We are under 20 laps to go. Again, somebody should be coming to pit road here. Try and get some fresh tires on there before the Rick Ware. Man, I cannot get the team name right. Before the Roush guys get there. Because if you can get your tires on there a lap earlier, potentially have some friends to go with you, which at this point. Alright, again, right now, the front of the field, single file out, nice and easy here. 18 laps ago, now 17. 17 more times around. Didn't he block Buscher really late in the 2022 duels? Are you talking about Logano, or if you're talking about Logano, probably. I mean, Logano is definitely known for blocking a lot of people, so I don't remember what happens in every exhibition, so. Alright, again, 17 laps to go, coming to 16 to go. Time. Okay, he ended up wrecking himself. Yep, that sounds like Logano's style. But yeah, again, time is ticking here, and you know these guys are gonna have to do at least a splashing net, splash of gas, splash and go type thing. All right, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. And oh, here we go. The hand is out the window for Brad Keselowski. So Brad Keselowski is signaling to everybody that he intends on coming into pit road this time by. And yeah, let's see how many people will end up going with him here. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be a lot of the Fords here. A lot of them here. All right, so there we go. Again, all the Rick Ware cars came in together, and oh, Casey Mears goes around. Casey Mears and Noah Gragson around. Caution flag flies. Yep, there it is. Yep, caution flag flies. Look down for a minute, and there it is. Casey Mears and Noah Gragson wreck. Caution flags out. Cody Ware with the fastest lap of the night. Huge for the Fords. Yep. Because now everybody's got to pit, and the Fords are going to get their track position back. So, unless one of these drivers thinks that they can make it on fuel from here to Kansas City. There we go. As long as none of the Fords lost the lead lap, which they shouldn't have. Yeah. Yeah, Priest, Buscher, LaJoy will all be able to stay out and just jump right back up to the front here. All right, there we go. All right, when we get this full screen commercial break here in a minute, I'm gonna run and just use the bathroom in a bit. But here we go again. Custer, Busch, Bowman, Dillon, Byron, Wallace, SVG. We got Suarez and Allmendinger. A couple of guys. Here we go. There's the replay of the. Oh wow, yeah, that was a proper crash. It wasn't even like a two single car spins here. No, they fully crashed to that thing. And again, all these Fords on pit road there, trying to do their best to beat the safety car off pit road. All right, so again, we're 14 laps to go here under commercial break. Yeah, 66 just locked up the brake. So here we go, coming down pit road. All right, let's see what are the Chevys gonna do here. Haas, Hendrick, and more. Alright, so there we go. Custer wins the race off pit road. Austin Dillon jumps up one spot. Kyle Busch jumps up 2 spots. Bubba Wallace up 2 spots. And Bowman loses 4 spots on pit road. There it is. Yep. Alex Bowman loses 4 spots on pit road. Rick Ware has a close affiliation with Rick Ware's had a very close affiliation with Haas. So when Haas swapped over, so did they. Same thing with Ryan Sieg and Sieg Motorsports in the Xfinity Series. When Haas Factory's team swapped over, the teams affiliated with them also had to make the decision whether or not to switch over. So that's why Cody Ware is in a Chevy now. And when it comes to the Xfinity Series race on Saturday, you'll notice that Ryan Sieg and others are in Chevys as well. All right, we go to our commercial break. I'll be right back, guys. All right, there we go. AM Racing, the only Ford and O'Reilly. I believe that Ford did pick up another team. Let me go ahead and confirm that real quick while we're still at the commercial break here. Or while we're coming back from commercial break, we're selling a caution flag entry list. So, we got the number 5 of Hettinger Racing. That is a Ford in the O'Reilly series. Nick Sanchez and AM Racing. Daniel Dye in the 52 for AM Racing. So AM Racing has 2 cars now, but yeah, there are 3. So Hettinger is the one other is the one other option there. And here we go. Green flag is out. And 11 laps to go as we go green flag racing here in the Daytona Duel. So there are 3 Fords in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Here we go. Oh, the 2 Penske cars way up near the fence here. There we go. Right up against the fence. Here we go. Logano and Blaney and Keselowski and Briscoe Buescher on the bottom line here. So these guys pushing aggressively here. Here comes Corey LaJoie. Here comes Chandler Smith in the mix. Door to door for the spot here. Chandler Smith gonna try and get there. If he can get by here, that will be Chandler Smith locking into the Daytona 500 and potentially sending Corey LaJoie home in defeat here. Door to door, Ford versus Ford here. Oh yeah, open cars side by side. We got ourselves a fun fight here with 10 laps to go. Again, the outside line looks fairly unsteady, but here comes Buescher in that inside line. They might not be the most stable, but they are all lined up really well. And here comes another push, though. Again, when the 12 and the 22 can get those good pushes going, the 22 gets absolutely clear of the inside line. And, everybody starts moving forward. Now Logano's in a spot where he can try and block both lanes. But, again, we've seen blocking both lanes go pretty poorly in the past. Kyle Busch, yes, he is the 5th car on the bottom line. One of the Ryan Preece got separated from the Roush Fenway pack. Kind of weird that they must have sped on pit road or something that cost him all that track position. Alright, so there we go. Again, Joey Logano in a spot where he can try and block both lanes when he sees the momentum coming. But no, he does not see the momentum coming in time. Buescher to the inside and side by side for the race lead. Here we go, door to door, wheel to wheel. Chris Buescher versus Joey Logano. We got Brad Keselowski versus Ryan Blaney. And that is a fierce fight right there. Joey Logano, a 3-time champion. Meanwhile, both his teammate and Brad Keselowski, some other Cup champions, up in that mix. But that inside line, though, kind of evaporating a little bit, and that has allowed Chandler Smith into a fairly secure spot here at the front. And there he goes. Kyle Busch drops to the bottom of the racetrack, and it looks like he has decided that, I am not going to mess around with that. There goes Kyle Busch jumping out of the pack, and he is going to go ahead and drop all the way to the back. Yeah, smart move there, and let's see if it pays off. It's going to pay off with him getting the pole position, but the question is, will he avoid a major wreck here as these guys are trying here. Here comes Buescher looking to the outside on Chandler Smith, trying to just do whatever he can to try and jump some spots here. None of the Roush cars wanting to work with Chandler Smith. Keselowski doors Chandler back up the track, and now he's side by side, but he's middle of 3 wide. with Corey LaJoie passing him on the inside. Chandler Smith is going to have to try and find a rebound here. He gets back in line in behind the 24, but that is going to be an intense fight to watch here as we get further and further here. And now we got Austin Dillon versus Joey Logano. We've seen these two have some on-track disagreements before. Obviously, the infamous moment where Austin Dillon just absolutely let Logano have it at Richmond. Taking out both Logano and Hamlin that time before the penalty. Rooting for LaJoie, but feeling really bad for him. Yep. Well, again, there's still side by side. Smith has rallied right back to it. Let's say Chandler Smith one car ahead. Now, again, just because LaJoie doesn't win this one doesn't rule out Corey LaJoie as a whole. Because, again, if Allgaier can get... Oh! There goes the inside line! Crash! Right up in front! Oh, man. Right on the nose of the 36 car, Chandler Smith. Bubba Wallace went around and the melee ensued. Great timing by Kyle Busch to get out of that pack when he did. And the biggest question is, where did the 99 end up in that? Because the reason why I was silent is I was looking for the 99. It looks like he may have made it through. The 17 of Buscher, he's got the window net down on that thing. Bubba Wallace still going, though. And a big crash like that. Oh, William Byron, major crab walking there. Looks like so. We got Byron's going to be done for the day. We got Buscher who's done for the day. And yeah, that is going to be a mess to deal with there. All right, so there we go. And yeah, let's see a replay of this because, again, I didn't even realize Bubba Wallace had gotten up to the front. But yeah, Bubba Wallace out in front and just a really sloppy push from the number 3 car. Goes up the track, and yeah, the 99 made it through, no damage at all. So that is going to put the 99 in a really good spot there for Corey LaJoie. Yep, just barely. He was the last car that made it through without getting clipped. Because I believe the 42 right behind him did get clipped in that. So there we go. Caution flag is out, and we'll have to see if we get. We're probably gonna see overtime here in the duel. All right, so there we go. Again, we are. Yeah, it just made it through. Yeah, it was not a very safe one there by any stretch, but again, just a shaky push there. Looked like it was maybe from Buscher into the back bumper of the 3, which caught, but then the 3 just got a little bit shaky on that one. It's a racing deal. You see them all the time. You just kind of always hope that they don't end up changing the outcome of the event all that much. When weird things like that happen. All right, so yeah, again, we're just chilling out here though. 23 caught some air. Yep. 23 had a pretty wild ride there. So then we go to commercial break. We are just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. All right. While we're at this bit of a break, I'm going to go through and, yep, we're going to overtime. So it'll be a green-white checker to end this one out. All right, so give me a second here. I'm gonna basically just I gotta go ahead and because I'm the one that's keeping track of our uses for everybody for this year, so I gotta go ahead and get the. All right, here we go. Everybody's picks. All right, so let's start off with me, and I used Ryan Blaney. All right, let's get Greg next. Greg went Kyle Busch. And I will get I'll get quicker at this when I kind of figure out ways to try and perfect this. All right. Let's see. Eli didn't have a pick at the point of this photo. Let's see. Alex went Chase Elliott. Jamie went with Carson Hocevar. All right, so those were the ones I had it written down for already. So I'm gonna figure out who Eli ended up picking. Now let's get the rest of these guys on here. So Brett went with. Oh, and we're back from commercial break. They're showing this. They're showing the wreck again. All right, so Brett went with Reddick. There he is. Ashley went with Chastain. Brandon. Jimmer. I don't believe we have Jimmy Johnson listed, so I will just go ahead and fill it in right now. Oh no, that was JP that had that one, but all right, we'll just go ahead and move that there. All right, we should be getting back to racing here shortly, guys. I'm just getting caught up with some stuff that I had been meaning that I'd been falling behind on this week, but all right, so Brad Keselowski. All right. Brad Keselowski wasn't on this list either because I made this with the Clash roster. All right, so again, we're back from the commercial break again. The 36 at Chandler Smith currently in 19th, while Corey LaJoy up in 4th place. Corey LaJoy should be able to hang on to this one, barring another wreck. All right, let's see. P. All right, let's see. What else do we got? We got. And he went with Briscoe. All right, so 2-lap shootout here. Again, normal overtime rules if you guys are new to NASCAR. So we'll get a green white checker. So we'll see the green flag. if the leader takes the white flag, the next flag ends the race, whether it be a yellow or not, or a checker. If there's a caution prior to them seeing the white flag, then the race will be restarted once again, and we will do this as many times as possible to get a winner. All right, there we go. I'm just missing 3 people's picks. So, all right, so Stephanie got Seabell. So getting Seabell is not a bad option there. All right, again, we're doubling up. We should be seeing the green flag here shortly. All right, let's see. All right, Eli grabbed Byron. All right, here we go. Lights are off on the pace car. Let's get ready to go back racing here. 1 second now, we'll get you the thoughts on McFarland. We can talk about the truck field actually as a whole in between the 2 duels because we're staying live right through. Here we go. Green flags out. We are back to racing, and it is a green-white checker here in overtime. 61 laps underway here, and let's see. Are we going to see a run to the checkers here? Who's it going to be? We got Logano on the outside, Keselowski to the inside. Here comes Corey LaJoie on that inside. Corey LaJoie's former car, the number 7 car, giving a nice push as well. That inside line all fairly well organized at the moment, and LaJoie giving a really steady push here to the back bumper of the 6. He knows if he gives a bad push, that 6 could easily end up snapping around on him and taking him out of this race as a whole. As we are looking to the white flag here, the Penske cars with a good push out ahead. White flag, 1 lap to go. Green, white checker. We are going to see this one end in a singular overtime attempt. The Penske cars almost both get clear of Brad Keselowski. Again, Logano still way out ahead and can potentially block both lanes, but no, not in time as the 6 comes back. 6 of Brad Keselowski gets back to that inside, but off the corner. Lots of moving up and down the track. A lot of people looking very unsteady. There goes LaJoie. Corey LaJoie goes around. The 66 of Mears also involved. Caution flag flies. Did Casey Mears just get into the field on that move? Are you kidding me? Casey Mears may have just made the Daytona 500 against all odds here. We're going to have to wait and see where it all shakes out, but it looks like it is going to be Casey Mears in 7th place, sneaking his way on in as the number 16 of AJ Allmendinger involved. Man, you hate to see that for the 99. All he needed to do was make it back to that start-finish line, and he would have had a spot in the Daytona 500. Now Corey LaJoie's fate rests in the hands of Justin Allgaier in duel number 2. So again, duel number 2 is going to be big here for him. Because again, if AJ Allmendinger wins, or sorry, not AJ Allmendinger, if Justin Allgaier is the highest of the open cars in their duel, then it will default back to the next highest driver in speed, which was Corey LaJoy. So again, right there, yep. I mean, it was pretty clear that the yeah, it was gonna be Mears. So it's not. Say it's not over yet. Again, if Allgaier can win his way through the duel, then that would open up a spot there. It is unlikely, but yeah. All right, and Tyler grabbed Priest, so again, we will get to the Cletus and the truck lineup as a whole here shortly. There's Priest. All right, let's see. Am I missing? All right, so we've got what? 12 people on the list. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I've got all of ours. So the number should be. So we haven't missed any. Yep, 12. Okay, I've got all the. I've got everybody in. So I'm gonna work on this spreadsheet in the my off time. But yeah, there we go. Did Smith pass LaJoy? It did not matter because Casey Mears was ahead of them both. So yes, Chandler Smith did pass LaJoy. But again, it was all about who got the top spot there, and that goes to Casey Mears. So Casey Mears will be in. 6 brake checked the 99 and the 7 wrecked him. Honestly, again, it's as I know the 6 wasn't intending to wreck him because 1, he's the one paying for it, and 2, yeah, that's his teammate. But yeah, so again, Corey LaJoy is not done yet, but there is a very happy Casey Mears who will be racing on Sunday in the Daytona 500. So that's pretty big. Again, we'll be talking about the Truck Series lineup here in a minute. Along with, if you guys have anything else you guys would like to talk about in between the 2 duels, feel free to let me know. But yeah, that was insane. Oh man. Yeah, he got hit in both sides. Yeah, again, it looked like maybe Keselowski was trying to check up to try and catch the car himself, and the 7 just didn't know about it. But yeah, yeah, Joey Logano, the duel winner. Congratulations to Joey Logano. He will start third on Sunday, and yeah, real big credit to Kyle Busch for getting out of there when he did. So yeah, so Logano will be third. Blaney will start in the 5th position. Then you've got Dylan, Nemechek, and Keselowski, the other guys inside the top 5. SVG with the top with a solid 6th place run. Ryan Preece ends up back inside the top 10 after getting separated from his teammates earlier. Alex Bowman rounding out your top 10 drivers there. Solid performances all around. All right, so there we go. All right, but yeah, as I mentioned though, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about the Truck Series entry list. So give me a second to go ahead and pull it up. I'm gonna try and pull it up on the sidebar, but there's definitely some names. I'm sure some of you guys probably know some of the names we're gonna be talking about, and yeah. No, I'm not trying to go to Daytona's website. Let's see, live leaderboard. No, that's not what I was trying to do. There's got to be a way to do this. And you remember to set my fantasy lineup as well. Let's see. Schedule. As I say, there should be an easy way to just go to the race to see like the entry list for the upcoming races. I know the app works pretty well. I just wish there was a way I could do it on the computer. Not looking for travel packages, not looking for tickets. Alright, well, not seeing a way to get it up on the screen, so we'll just have to go ahead and read it off for you guys, but here we go. Again, they're talking with Casey Mears, who raced his way in through Duel 1. So Casey Mears, against all odds, makes it in there. Yeah, I saw that Casey Mears was heavily involved in that one too, but managed to get out of there and ran it back to the end. Yeah, no, Smith was way in the back, and that's why he was able to make it through. He finishes. Chandler Smith finishes in the 16th position. The other thing we didn't even kind of think about because he wasn't anywhere really near the front, but if Corey Heim had managed to get out there and get to the front, Corey LaJoie would have also made it through. But so yeah, obviously, I think first and foremost, let's go ahead and just talk about Cletus because that was who was actually asked about in the chat. Yeah, for me, and I said this when I was watching him in the ARCA series last year, is that Cletus is a big personality and a big character, and I think that is one thing that the NASCAR lower series really needs, and honestly, NASCAR as a whole really needs guys with big personalities. I'm just not sure that I'm just not sure where the driving talent lies beneath that personality. Obviously, a goofy personality can still have a ton of talent behind it. It's just hard to know for sure. And ARCA really is a really tough judge to try and gauge where the overall talent lies for Cletus. So I'm looking forward to seeing him getting some opportunities in the Truck Series, hopefully going forward. But yeah, it starts this weekend with the NISA Motorsports number 4. So look forward to seeing him hopefully get some few Truck Series starts under his belt. And yeah, again, I'm not ruling him out. It's just one of those things where it's like I know he's got a big personality. I just don't know where the talent lies, and so I'm a little bit hesitant to buy into the hype there. Then we got Mike McDowell in the number 7 truck. Enough said there. Yeah, he wrecked the truck at Rockingham. Okay. Yeah, so kind of goes to show again the talent. He's definitely a raw prospect at the very least. Yeah. But yeah, Mike McDowell though will be driving truck number 7 tomorrow. Ram and their 5 truck lineup being a big return. I don't think they really have they've got a couple of interesting names here, but yeah, Daniel Dye, Brendan Butterbean Queen. Yeah. All right, so there we go. But yeah, so again, Caden Honeycutt in the 11. That's gonna be an interesting one. Minnie Tyrell got the spot through the Ram race for the seat show. I really want to see Butterbean do well. Me too. I'm rooting for Brendan Queen. In fact, I was kind of disappointed to see that that they gave Brendan Queen the 12, because that means at some point he's gonna be building a career in a different number if he does move up, because Blaney's got the 12 locked up. But yeah, then for the other Rams, so you've got Justin Haley in the 16 for Ram, and then the talk of the town, it's gonna be Tony Stewart driving the number 25 Dodge Ram tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern time. So for any of you old heads who really like some of the older, more traditional NASCAR drivers, Tony Stewart's about as old school as it gets. So yeah, then there's a not a whole. Then there's a bunch of series regulars here. Tony Breitinger moving over to Rackley War. Lane Riggs will put on a good show. Chandler Smith, who we just saw attempt to qualify for the Daytona 500. Then we got Travis Pastrana in the number 42, another driver who is who brings a lot of eyeballs, but I think there are serious questions about the talent and about the actual driving skill. And again, at this point, he's on the older side too, so still curious to see how he does. Andres Perez de Lara as well in the Nice Motorsports full time this year. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. will also be driving in Nice Motorsports trucks, and Nice Motorsports bring out all the trucks for this first race. Then you got Stuart Friesen, obviously him making his triumphant return to the racetrack. Glad to see Stuart Friesen back in the truck series after that gnarly modified crash that nearly took his life. Again, glad to see he's made as far as we can tell, a full recovery, and looking forward to seeing that one. Then we got John Hunter Nemechek driving the other Halmar Friesen racing truck. So if you thought we were done with Star Power, John Hunter Nemechek racing there. Yeah, we're getting going down in just numerical order. Then we got the 75, normally driven by Parker Kligerman, but Kligerman stepped away from on-track action. Although he still has raced the 75. But yeah, now it's going to be Corey LaJoie running the number 75 for Henderson Motorsports. Carson Hocevar will be in the number 77 for Spire Motorsports. Yeah, Ty Majeski making the move from the 98 to the 88, following Matt Crafton's retirement last season. And I believe, and Jake Garcia goes from the 13 to the 98. I think that's basically all the major changes for the Truck Series season. And again, that is a stacked lineup of drivers in the opening race for the trucks. Let's see, O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Again, a lot less stacked here. I don't say when it comes to Cup guys running in particular. You've got Carson Hocevar in the Young's Motorsports machine. And that's the only Cup Series regular that is running the NASCAR Xfinity Series season opener. That's a little bit surprising that there's only one of them. Alright, so there we go. Let's go ahead and get the see if we can get this thing swapped over for duel number 2. Or is it still going to be duel 1? Might still be duel 1 set up here. Wait and see. All right, let's see if I can just type in Duel 2 into the search bar. Well, let's say I tried. All right, so it looks like they have not got the Duel 2 set up quite yet. Hey Tater, how's it going? Let's see. I feel like they should go back to where they make everyone qualify for it. I mean, ultimately, when they introduced the charter system, and even back then, there were still provisionals given to like the top 20 in points. Now, yeah, top 20 is a lot less than 36, but yeah, again, it's just one of those things that just when they introduced the charter system, yeah, it came with guaranteed spots, and those guaranteed spots are a big reason as to why the charters are so valuable. So, saying now it looks like the charter system's here to stay. We're pretty much gonna have to just get used to the fact that 36 of the 40 slots are gonna be locked in to start the event. Rooting for McDowell in the truck race in Daytona. Hey, I'm gonna be rooting for my boys, Michael McDowell and the for both same McDowell and Stenhouse both in the duel together there, or not in the duel, but in the truck race together. I'm gonna be having a tough time trying to choose someone to root for there. All right, so that's still duel. That still takes us to duel 1. Shady Lane Holmes for us all. 300 subs on the way for him. Nice. All right. 99 should get Jimmy's spot. I mean, as I say again, Jimmy was willing to forfeit all the prize money associated with the race in order to get that guaranteed spot. I mean, as much as I think the 99 would put up a better fight than Jimmy did, at least it's that we've seen so far, Jimmy also hasn't had to put up much of a fight. Compared to what the 99 had to do. So, again, it's just one of those things that, I mean, would Corey LaJoie have been willing to forfeit all that prize money in order to, I mean, obviously getting into the race versus getting left out of the race, sure, but imagine trying to go ahead and get that one. For the Xfinity Series race, I'm rooting for Jesse Love. Okay, safe pick there. I say the RCR cars at the plate tracks are definitely a little bit tough. All right, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. And they're getting ready for duel number 2 on deck here as we are going to be getting ready to go. All right, there we go. Yeah, let's see. Jimmy is cool for like a season to do it, but now it's kind of getting old. I don't know. Again, Jimmy hasn't been that far off the pace. I mean, he hasn't been like who was the guy for Rick Ware Racing a couple years ago? Derek Cope. When Derek Cope was out here running dangerously below the speeds of the rest of the pack. I mean, Jimmy hasn't been that bad. He, again, like, yeah, obviously it was a big wreck that ended up giving him the exact spot, but Jimmy Johnson ended up was in the fight close enough to the front that he was able to get a top 3. He was able to get a top 5 out of last year's race. I mean, again, I'm acknowledging that there was a big wreck, but that means that Jimmie Johnson was close enough to in the fight that he was able to still get a top 5 out of all that. So yeah, it's just one of those things that, again, it came down to the fact that you had to choose to, if you were going to run it, you had to forfeit the prize money. So there we go. Talking with Corey LaJoie here. I believe there is still a path for him if Allgaier wins his duel. That LaJoie could, or wins his way through the duel, that would pass it on. But again, we'll have to wait and see here. Like Dale introduced on his podcast, doing something about the extra ticket. They get into the race. Yeah, but again, as long as it's not taking up a spot, because again, it's not like Jimmie Johnson is taking up one of the 40 spots and eliminating someone like a Corey LaJoie from the field. It's an additional spot. Now, yeah, you could have your arguments about that, but honestly, I don't mind it, especially if it allows some of these guys to be able to race. Now, obviously, Jimmie Johnson is kind of the exception to this rule, but if excited for the IndyCar NASCAR sharing a weekend at Phoenix, I'm really excited for that too. Yeah. All right, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out though. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Yeah, is if you start allowing 43 cars, I mean, at that point, you're not gonna have any drama when it comes. Say you're gonna very rarely have any drama when it comes to eliminating cars. And as much as it is a bummer to see some of these guys miss out, I mean that gave so many more storylines to talk about in this race rather than just talking about, oh yeah, racing to see if you're going to be one spot further up on the inside line or if you're going to be one to two spots further back on the inside line to start it off with. I like the fact that not every driver is essentially guaranteed into the field. Uh, because there's some people trying to make it and they only have one chance to race this year. Now, yeah, if someone like LaJoie was rejected from the open exemption, but again, I'm not sure that they would have applied for it because, again, I'm not sure that Corey LaJoie was willing to forfeit all potential prize money. If again, yeah, and it gets people talking. And honestly, when it comes to sponsors, I mean, as I say, the more you can get people talking, the better. If you're in that conversation, if if Eric Jones is in, then anybody should be in. Are you kidding me? I mean, I know Eric Jones isn't the greatest driver or in the greatest of equipment, but really? That's the guy you're going to choose to make that statement about? Really? But yeah, again, like, I can understand if you made that reference with Cody Ware or it's kind of my point. But yeah, like if you want to take a shot like that, take a shot at Cody Ware or Riley Herbst. Like I would take Eric Jones over either of those two. Man. Uh Again, that's not me saying Eric Jones is the best driver in the world, but there are far worse ones you could have chosen for that analogy. Let's see. Riley Herbst is just heating the seat for Heim. Yeah, again, Herbst isn't terrible. I mean, he showed some level of progress in Xfinity, or in the O'Reilly series the last couple of years, but it is nowhere near the same level as what Heim has shown already. All right, so there we go. All right, sorry about that. It was a little distracting because Brad Keselowski, yeah, he got his. He and Cletus McFarland both went up to Rockingham and passed their tests on the same day. This past week, so both Brad Keselowski and Cletus McFarland got passed their tests together. All four JGR cars in this duel. I believe there's a chance that all four are in here together. I think. I know all four. Obviously, all four Roush cars were in the last one together. Let's see. Denny, Briscoe, Bell, and yeah, Gibbs. Okay, yep. All four. In fact, Bubba Wallace is the only Toyota. Bubba Wallace and John Hunter Nemechek and Jimmy Johnson are the only Toyotas. Were the only Toyotas left out of this one. So because you got Eric Jones in this duel, you've got two of the 2311 cars in this duel. All right, so there we go. All right, yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, we'll have the Duel 2 starting lineup up here shortly. All right, there we go. Duel 2. Boom. Check in. William Byron DNF and LaJoy got 24. All right, let's go ahead and just unfollow the tracker. I previously had some trackers on these guys so that I could follow where the open drivers were in time trials last night, but Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Are you going to any races this year? Yes. As of right now, I have 2 races on my schedule. Pocono in June. The Pocono race weekend on in June 14th, and then the summer race at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, uh, the weekend of, I believe it's the 23rd. I think is the Cup race. So yeah. So the Cup race for Pocono is on June 14th, and the 23rd of August for New Hampshire. So yeah, I'll be at both of those ones. So all right, picking the 62 for this one. All right. But yeah, so I am going to a couple of races this year. I don't think there's going to be any extra races added on. I think it's probably just going to be those 2 for this year, but should be a good pair of races to go to. There we go. You're watching the race tomorrow? Yeah, I'll be doing the stream just like this one for tomorrow night's Truck Series race. I'll also be here for the Xfinity Series race and Cup Series race for this weekend. I'll be here for all those except for I won't be home for the ARCA race, is the only exception. Am I going to any truck races? So each of those race weekends that I said, I'll be there for the entire weekend. If I'm going to a cup race, I don't live close enough to a track to make it worth it to only go for the cup race. So I will be at, I believe, say, let's see, because New Hampshire, I believe, has a truck race, right? Yeah, so there's no trucks at Pocono. So Pocono is just O'Reilly Auto Parts and yeah, so Pocono is O'Reilly Auto Parts Series Racing and Cup, but then the trucks will be racing at New Hampshire when I'm there. So yeah, we'll be going to those. I'm also going to be at the modified race on uh, the modified race in New Hampshire too. So should be a fun week of racing. Again, anytime I'm going to a cup race, so if I say I'm going to, like, if I were to, like, for example, last year when I went to Bristol, if I'm going to Bristol, I'm going for all 4 races. I was there for ARCA, I was there for trucks, I was there for Xfinity, I was there for Cup last year. So JG Ailey, if he was my driver, I would replace him with Corey LaJoie. Again, you can't just replace someone on the fly. Now, say there's very rare circumstances where you can where contractually you even can change the driver once the entry list is filled out. So there we go. Is there a NASCAR track where you live? So I do cover my local dirt track from time to time. My closest racetrack is New Hampshire Motor Speedway because I live all the way up in Maine, the state of Maine. So yeah, very far north. Again, it's like it's like a 2.5, 3 hour drive from here to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Going only for the cup races would be like only going to a concert for one song. Again, if it was something where, like, okay, because, like, for example, with my current work schedule, I'm off on, say I have the whole day on Sunday. So if I lived close enough to a track where I could make it a day trip, like, let's say I lived just for example, let's say I lived in Charlotte, um, and I could head over for a 1 day trip, or say the Coke 600. even though I work the other days of the week. That's funny. Corey LaJoy is so focused on the task at hand at trying to make the Daytona 500 that he forgot about the truck race tomorrow. Yep, that's funny. Yeah, but yeah, the closest NASCAR track to me is like 2.5, 3 hours away at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. In fact, let's actually just pull up the map and see exactly how long it would take me to get there. Yeah, so 2 hours 47 minutes. So basically 3 hours away for New Hampshire, which is my closest NASCAR track. How far is Pocono? Pocono is probably 7 hour drive for Pocono, and the other one in my general area, Watkins Glen. That one is a nearly 9 hour drive. So yeah, again, not a whole lot of NASCAR in my area. All right, so here we go. Chase Briscoe, Denny Hamlin in duel number 2 here. Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott. So again, four of the Gibbs cars starting inside that top 6. Yeah, I saw. I mentioned Brad Keselowski walking with his cane and mentioning that I really hope he doesn't end up in a wreck, because yeah, obviously you don't want to see a driver like that get in a wreck and potentially hurt himself worse. So yeah, that's one of those things that we're gonna have to keep an eye on throughout Speed Week. But he made it through the duel without a whole lot of damage, so hopefully he can go ahead and avoid trouble there too. All right, well, here we go. Let's see. Brad, I need a note doctor that gave him a pass to do the race again. Yep. Imagine him standing in victory lane with a stick. Yeah, that would be hilarious. Again, first and foremost, always want to make sure I'm prioritizing that. I sincerely hope he gets through it healthy first and foremost. But yeah, as a yeah, I am as a when I saw him walking with a stick, I was kind of surprised that he was walking with a stick. Yet the doctor cleared him to race the car. He insists that that he actually feels more comfortable in the car, but of course that's only before you get in a wreck. Once you get in a wreck, that comfort goes right out the window. All right, so there we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. How much did you pay the doctor? Yeah, yeah, you do sit in the car, but you're also having to push on a pet. You're also having to push down on the gas pedal. Now I don't know if it's his gas foot or his brake foot that was on the um that was on the leg that got broken. But yeah, you're pushing constantly on a pedal though. Yeah, inside that car. I'm not sure that it's the most gentle thing in the world. Not to mention the amount of shaking that these cars do. All right, here we go. Duel number 2. Toyota pace car. Lights are off on it. We are ready to go racing here. Go ahead and skip around to ads. He really doesn't need to get hit head on in the wall in the 500. Yeah, again, that's that would be my biggest fear for Brad Keselowski, would be that he suffers a fluke wreck in the Daytona 500, which ends up keeping him out for a couple months out of the season, and essentially handicapping his entire shot at championship run. Not that I think he's ready for a championship run right now, if he was healthy, but every little bit matters. So here we go. Pace car is off. Field in the hands of the 19 and the 11. As we get ready to go. Green, green, green. Green flag's out. We are racing here. And yeah, let's see what we see here as Briscoe takes the green flag. He's got Chase Elliott and Bell behind him on the top side here. He is also clear of his teammate Denny Hamlin to the inside, so he could choose to go to the bottom if he wishes. You go to the top. So again, 60 laps to go. In the in the earlier duel, we saw them waited out, and only the Fords ended up coming about a lap or two before the caution flag inevitably got thrown for a wheel hopping. Man. So set a lap record. He set a lap record at the Glen with a broken something. All right. Who actually needs to do good? So, your open cars in this race are Justin Allgaier, who is already locked into the field. But if he is the top of the open cars, that would allow for, I believe, Corey Heim to get back in. And we got the 40 car of Justin Allgaier jumping out of the pack and instantly deciding, yeah, no, I'm not fighting this one. I'm just going to drop to the back here. The other ones in this field, you've got Anthony Alfredo, J.J. Yaley, B.J. McLeod are the other three open cars fighting for the playoffs, for the spot in the 500. Anthony Alfredo is my pick to advance through, but again, if Allgaier gets races way in, I believe that would promote Corey LaJoie back in. All right, give me 1 second here, guys. All right, there we go. So yeah, Allgaier jumped out of the field and just kind of drifted to the back of the field for now. We'll have to wait and see if he decides later on to get up in the fight, because again, that 40 car is fast enough that it might legitimately be able to blow by all three other drivers pretty quickly. Let's see. That was number 40. I'd make hit the number of laps I needed, then pit. The hard part is if you pit by yourself, you're gonna lose a lap because you're gonna be way off the pace of the other cars. You need, say, at a plate track like this, you need other people to do it with you. All right, so here we go again. Briscoe and Hamlin out in front of the field, doing pretty good. And yeah, 3 wide. That say the open cars there, Alfredo and McLeod starting to get the 3 wide going. Actually, Eric Jones also up in that third groove there. Technically he's in, so he doesn't even need to race. Yeah, but well, one, he can still race for better starting position in the 500, and two, if he does get in, that would allow the 99 of Corey LaJoie back in, which could matter, could not. But yeah, here we go. Eric Jones and BJ McLeod at the top of the track. Anthony Alfredo just stuck in neutral here, not much going on. Alright, so yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. But yeah, we are just relaxing here. Yeah, we got Chase Elliott up in that leading that second groove here. Yep, the Anthony Alfredo quotes are always on point. Granted, what would you expect out of someone who owns his own go fart? But yeah, there we go. Again, I'm kind of surprised that there's only been two drivers up top this whole time. There we go. Todd Gillen pops out of the line. Alright, here we go again. We're just chilling out here. Yeah, again, Briscoe Hamlin right there, 1-2 in front of the field. And everybody else is kind of scattered here. Here we go. Again, we're just working our way through this one. Opening laps are always going to be a little bit tricky here. 7 laps in. But that outer lane, the 3 cars in it are starting to gain a little bit of momentum here. Again, Chase up the track here, trying to see where, where he might be able to make a block in the future. Alright, let's see again. We're just working our way through this one. Let's see. More surprised that they're keeping up the middle and inside. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that the top line has been able to do that too, because again, just the sheer lack of cars and the lack of competitive cars in particular. It looks like they are going to a full screen commercial break here, which, yep, there we go. Alright, they go to a full screen commercial break. We are just chilling out here. I'm going to run and use the bathroom again. We'll be right back. There we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Oh, now they're saving 2, going to the back. Okay, what? Oh, what happened? All right. Everyone is saving fuel, but the outside. Okay, yeah. Now there's. Okay, so they're saving back, and now they're going to the back. Okay. So the outside line started to fade there. Eric Jones is still up inside the top 5. Okay. Yep. Nope. The top line has completely evaporated. Jones just found a spot on the inside line. One of the 2 existing lines to get in. Here we go. But yeah, Briscoe and Hamlin, though, out in front of the field. I'm really curious to see what Larson will do if he and Elliott can find a chance to get into the outside line together. I'm kind of curious to see if they would be able to take over from the Joe Gibbs Racing teammates. So there we go. Okay, outside was going 100% while everybody else was fuel saving, and that's why they were able to keep up so well. Okay, makes sense. Alright, there we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out. But man, the 19 and the 11 are both jumping out to big gains here. LaJoy's a lot better than the 3 trying to qualify. Yeah, sometimes and with the way they do it, sometimes it just breaks down that one dual race is absolutely garbage when it comes to the cars available, and in other situations, again, I think Alfredo's probably pretty decent. The problem is he has very few Chevy teammates at the moment. Well, he has no in-house Chevy teammates. Say he's stuck between a couple of Fords at the moment, and then he's got Stenhouse, who's another one-car Chevy team that's barely affiliated with Chevy. Then you've got Zilich, who's a Chevy guy, but he's just so new that I'm not even sure he's a big help anyway. Then you got Ty Dillon. Then you got another Ford, and the first really reliable Chevy to work with would be McDowell. Again, not saying the Zilich couldn't potentially help. It's just that he's so green, it's hard to gauge how he would do. All right, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Yeah, Beard Motorsports is a super speedway specialist, so I expect him to do well. Yeah, but like if you're comparing how he's doing compared to how the 99 of Corey LaJoy did in the first duel when he had a 4-car tandem to work with and a Roush Fenway Keselowski motor, I mean, Beard's good, but Roush is better and had 4 cars that were dedicated to trying to help him get there. All right, so again, Briscoe Hamlin at the front of the field doing a great job of controlling the field through the first 15 laps. 15, 16 laps down, and yeah, Briscoe's led the entire way. No lead changes at all. I'm kind of curious as to when we're going to see potentially Larson trying to make that move. Again, that would be the big momentum shifter if Larson can pop out of line and go with Chase Elliott. I think that outside line would have a shot at catching the 2 Toyotas on the inside line that are just powering by. All right, so there we go. Well, what happened? I don't think it would ever happen again. The 3 drive was trying to get in, got in an accident, and couldn't. Are you asking what would happen if the other 3 got into an incident and couldn't finish? It would come down to who was ahead at the time of caution. Now, again, if they were all wiped out in the exact same crash, would probably say I think the fair thing for them to gonna say, because again, there are scoring loops everywhere. Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. But yeah. So ultimately in that kind of situation they would they would go off of who was ahead at the time of caution. You know, when it came to like, okay, who passed what scoring loop first. Because there are scoring loops all the way around this racetrack that allow for the team to try and figure out who was where. All right, so again, here we go. At least they would try to repair and get one lap at least. Yeah, yeah. If but the way he said it, I'm assuming we're talking a massive wreck. I mean, yeah, they would each try to clear the damaged vehicle policy, but sometimes you just can't clear it. It would absolutely be something they would try to do before giving up. All right, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, Herps isn't already. Talking about on pit road, or Herps is in like already in the field, because we already knew Herps was in the field. So yeah, there we go. Again, right now the 77 of Host of ours has been very quiet so far today, which is actually kind of surprising. Normally he's the high flying cowboy moving to the top line before everybody else does. Alright, so here we go again. Jones is trying to find some kind of momentum here. He's now in behind the 5 of Kyle Larson, but again, this whole situation is in a very weird spot on the racetrack here, because again, if you're Eric Jones, it's like, okay, you really don't have a teammate out here to work with. All right, there we go. Oh, the 3 pitch black cars again. Yep. All right, here we go again. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Larson, you don't have to do it. Nothing either, because your car's faster than everyone else who's seen it last year. Yeah, well, as I say, a fast car isn't always everything. 47 ski makes you hungry. All right. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Excellent. Excellent. Went into that. We are here. Yeah, we're currently under the green flag under a commercial break. We should be approaching the pit window when we come back from the commercial break, though. Again, I'd be shocked if we get 2 races in a row where they have a pretty easy halfway where you pit, you run 30, pit, and run another 30. All right, man. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. McLeod is second to last. Yeah, that is unsurprising. Anthony Alfredo, though, knocking on the door of the top 10 right now. Again, it's obviously split field, not the biggest accomplishment in the world, but hey, every accomplishment matters when you're running here. All right, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. We're coming back for commercial break here. Let's see what we got. All right. Again, those front two Toyotas have kind of just controlled the pace of play here at the front of the field. Yaley doing Yaley things in P20? Yep, pretty much. Makes sense to me. But here comes, as I say, Elliott with the biggest run I think he's had this offseason. All right, so again, right now, Briscoe doing a really good job at just leading this pack around here. 35 laps to go. We're starting to enter that window where we could start to see some pitting. Why is Briscoe racing? Well, I do believe I think the duels do pay a very small amount of points. And two, this gets him practice reps for the Daytona 500. And three, he's also a lunatic who gets me praised. Alright, here we go again. We're just working our way through this one. They're showing the wreck from the previous race. Yeah, there we go. Bash for results. Go ahead and make this one matter. Alright, so again, we're just chilling here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Is Alfredo doing anything good? He's up until the top 10, but again, kind of just looks like gridlock. He's currently in the second lane of traffic. Man. That's good. Skip around ads here. Again, we're coming up on the halfway point in duel number 2, and once again, these duel races have gone by really well on the timing. All right, there we go. All right, so again, Briscoe out in front of the field. Elliott versus Hamlin, a tale as old as time here, pretty much. All right, man. Again, we got this one. We're doing the same strategy like in Duel 1. Yep. Well, let's see. Alfredo, don't mess up, and he's got an easy chance. The other two are almost at last. Yep. Oh, man, yeah, I am. Sorry, I'm starting to get a little bit tired here, guys. I apologize. Starting to definitely run on a little bit of fumes here, but Again, Briscoe's still holding on to that lead, which is very impressive that he's been able to hold on to that thing the whole time. But yeah, again, we're just chilling out here. Let's see. Maybe the 78 has to pit a few laps before. Alright. Here we go. Let's see. Again, we're working our way through this one. Again, the timing of it is actually going by pretty quick. 30 laps down, 30 to go. Here we go. All right. So again, where is I say the 40 still is refusing to engage as well. All right, there we go. Again, I'm just trying to figure everything else out here. We got Riley Herbst trying to lead a crew to the outside line. And that's only going to work here because it looks like everybody else kind of just got boxed in by their other alternatives. And here we go. Riley Herbst making some real progress here up the grid. Here we go. JJ Yaley making some good moves all the way up into the 9th position. What on earth has Yaley been up to? There we go. JJ Yaley on the extreme outside. Alright, man. Again, they go to commercial break here. Again. 78 pit a few laps earlier for going 100%. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's been a long day. It will be an even longer day as we get into the. Yeah, it looks like we got pit stops occurring here. Say, looks like Alfredo might be one of those ones pitting because only Yaley jumped up a few. Alright, so there we go. We got full screen commercial break, so we're not even missing anything anyway. But yeah, again, Briscoe continuing to lead. Oh wow, Ty Dillon got the lead lap. Got the lead of 1 lap there. I gotta see how Ty Dillon managed to get out of Chase Briscoe enough to lead a lap. I'm gonna say because Briscoe's not even. All right, so there we go. All right, here we go. Coming back from commercial break, we got Briscoe. He's got everybody breathing down his neck now. He's got Ty Dillon on the outside line, Chase on the inside line. Alfredo up into the top 10 there. There we go. Good on him to be seen. All right, here we go. Again, Briscoe just doing a really good job of just holding off everybody in front of him. All right, so there we go. 24 laps to go. 24 more times around here. They gotta give them credit. They've kept these things green flag for a decent chunk of the time. All right, so again, right now, Briscoe doing everything he can right now to try and manage this gap behind him, but now that Denny Hamlin's shuffled a little bit further back, it's making it harder to predict because you don't have a teammate there that's reliably going to stick with you no matter which decision you go with. And you don't have that relationship with either Elliott or the young kid that just offered up his town there. Oh yeah, here we go. Man. Yeah, Connors Village up into P10 there for a moment. Just knocking on the door, and let's see. Man. 22 to go. 22 laps. They're running out of laps here in a hurry. Huh, would you believe that? JJ Haley has the best lap of the day. I'd say Briscoe goes up to the top to block. Right, here we go. Ty Dillon with a good run on the top side there. He's got Stenhouse behind him. Meanwhile, Briscoe has Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin behind him for pushers. But yeah, we're just again. There's a 20 laps to go here. I am running on fumes. All right, man. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. All right, 20 laps to go here. Ty Dillon out in front of the field. He's got enough there to try and make a block, but he opts to just stay in front of the line. It's all right, man. Again, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. But yeah, title and trying to get down in front of the 19 car there, and we've seen at times that transition being very tough to make, but he did it in time, and now we got. I was gonna say Michael McDowell has jumped up to the lead here. Let's go. Michael McDowell, here comes Alfredo. We got a lot of good runs going here. Is that 10 laps to go already? No, it's 18 to go. 18 to go. Again, we're gonna have to stop for fuel at some point here. I can't run it all the way to the checkers. Here comes Alfredo along the outside. Oh, man. All right, 17 laps to go. Again, McDowell versus Alfredo is going to be fun. It'd be more fun if any of these open cars would actually get into the mix and try and mix some stuff up. But, yeah, McLeod's too underfunded. The 44 is underfunded, and, well, alright, so again, 17 laps to go. They're making this one work so far, but man, they're having to work for it here. Let's say Alfredo door to door with Mike McDowell. Alright, here we go. We've got coming up to 15 to go, 15 laps. Man, this one is just a long day. Accumulated with a long race, but yeah, it's been. Oh, and yep, here we go. Pit road is open, and here they come. Small group of people coming to pit road here. It's only the beginning. All right, so here we go. As guys are going to be coming back up onto the banking here, you got them. Oh, yeah, here comes another group of cars coming to pit road. I was going to say, as cars start to go to the banks, you know, in order to make a real impact, you kind of have to go. There we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Man. Briscoe got too much fuel. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. All right, here we go. Zillage coming to pit road all by his lonesome. Oof. So there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. 13 to go. Zillage coming into pits all by himself. And he is almost certainly fighting to try and just stay on lead lap. All right, come on. And yep, here comes the final wave of cars coming to pit road. All of them are coming. Everybody's coming. Pit road is open. Yeah, I think Zilich might have thought everybody else was coming to pit road with him, and once you were committed to pit road, you kind of had to just do it. But all right, here we go. 17 to go. 17 laps to go. It's been a long, long day. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys that has decided to spend a portion of your very valuable Wednesday evening here, or Thursday evening here with us. Forgetting what day of the week it is. All right, so Justin Allgaier now leading the field here over Herb, Hendrick, and everybody's just kind of weaving their way around whoever that is. All right, so again, Allgaier out in front of the field. Reddick, Cindric, Hocevar, Jones. Wow, what an interesting group at the front of the field here, which they are just now catching up to. There we go. All right, here we go. Coming to 10 laps to go here. Cindric stuck in the middle of 3 wide. Oh, the 45 of Reddick way up the track trying to block. Allows Hocevar to move through to the lead. And Hocevar takes the lead. Here comes Reddick looking up the inside. Reddick's going to take that spot away, and Reddick is going to take the lead back with 10 laps to go. And so, with how crazy this race has been, or how crazy these races typically are, tonight has felt fairly tame. All right, there we go. All right, again, 10 laps to go. It'll be 9 to go at the line this time. They're working their way through this one pretty effectively. Are you kidding me? Did we really get a commercial break with 9 laps to go? $78 and 44, nowhere near the 62. Yeah, 62's got the. Actually, how clear is he out over everybody else here? That's it. The thing Alfredo has to watch out for, though, is he's got Allgaier breathing down his neck. Because if Allgaier wins that one again, I believe that would flip it, and that would get LaJoy in, I believe. Unless I've got my rules mixed up, which is very possible with how late I am. Yeah, the 44 has officially lost a lap. Let's say and oh wow. Okay, so they're one spot apart, but yeah, there's almost a 9-second gap between Allgaier and Alfredo. So as long as Alfredo doesn't get wrecked, he should be good enough to advance. And speaking of getting wrecked, here we go. We're back on commercial break with 6 laps to go. And it is 3 wide and chaos here. 62 thinks he's good and he's staying out of pack. Hey, smart move here because right now it's either dumb. Here we go. 6 laps to go. All right, so here we go again. Elliott, Hocevar, and McDowell. That front 3 is actually pretty good. Looks like McDowell might be a little bit further back than that. Yeah, he's 4th in line. Did Briscoe give up? Probably. He's back in 20th place right now. Which would put him over, over 12 seconds off the pack at least. So, yeah, it looks like Briscoe may have given up on this one. Hold him in the pit for way too long. Yeah, that would do it to you. There you go, 5 laps to go. But yeah, here we go. Team wanted him to stay out. Yep. All right, here we go. Zillage looking to the inside here on Stenhouse. Stenhouse does not go with. Does McDowell have something? Yes, he does. Let's go. All right, let's see if McDowell can kind of pop out of line here. Yeah, everybody needs to start worrying about popping out of line. 4 laps to go. It'll be 3 to go at the line. Tyler has the fastest lap of the night. Wow. So Elliott, Hocevar, Larson, Dow. All right, so again, here we go. 3 laps to go. We're working our way through this one pretty well. It's been a long night, but here we go. It'll be 2 laps to go this time by 2 to go. Alfredo's got nobody in the picture here. 2 laps to go. All right, here we go. 2 laps to go. Come on. Let's say a lap and a half to go here at Daytona. I'm kind of curious to see what the 2 Spire cars versus 2 Hendrick cars do here when none of them are lined up together. You've got cars 1 and 3 and 2 and 4 that are teammates here. Are we gonna see a big bold move? And so that would be host of our style, and if he communicates with McDowell, I think playing loyalty make actually a ton of fun. But yeah, here we go. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. Last time around here on Thursday night. Duel number 2. Chase Elliott, Carson Hocevar, 1-2 here. Now Mike McDowell giving a good push to the back bumper of Reddick. Reddick, not a fan of Brad. Oh wait, no, Brad's not even in the mix. Not even sure why I said that, but because he was in the earlier race, but yeah. Oh man, here we go. Last lap. Final lap here. You've got Elliott out in front of the field. Hocevar, Larson, McDowell. Everybody's popping out of line here. Larson's going to try and get there. Not going to get there. Chase Elliott will win the duel number 2. So it'll be Elliott, Hocevar, Larson, McDowell, Christopher Bell, Barry, and everybody gets through this one nice and clean. And Anthony Alfredo will make the Daytona 500, which means, unfortunately, Corey LaJoie will be going home alongside J.J. Yaley and the other drivers that have missed out. We had B.J. McLeod, we had B.J. McLeod, J.J. Yaley, Corey LaJoie, Chandler Smith, and all of them going home, unfortunately. Those 4 going home, 4 going into the 500, so. That was a much calmer race than the first one was, but man, I will say that one was a little anticlimactic because nobody was really. It was kind of a very awkward spot for Hocevar and McDowell to be in because they weren't lined up together to try and make a move, and maybe they could have tried to like hand signal or have their spotters communicate, but. Again, that's just one of those things that's a really weird situation to try and get yourself out of without tipping your hand. Yeah, it went green all the way. And again, we'll be back for the Truck Series tomorrow, but I'm going to hop off here. Hopefully you guys had a good night. If you guys did enjoy the live stream, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new so you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. I'm going to go ahead and get some sleep, and hopefully we'll be even more rested for tomorrow as, the trucks will start at around about 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Expect us to be going live about 7:15, about 15 minutes before the scheduled start time. So, until next time, though, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next video. As I do with the rest of the night. Have a great night, everybody, and goodbye!